First things first, I want to wish everyone a happy new year, the year of 2023, although I'm personally not having one, considering by now everyone's heard that my Ohio State Buckeyes lost to the Georgia Bulldogs by 1 point at the Peach Bowl. But I'm not going to damn the Buckeyes or anything else like that. They played an amazing game. They took the defending national champions to the wire. They just missed the field goal. That's a loss I can take. I can't take a blowout. Anyway, beyond all that, there is something we need to talk about. This is the year that Donald Trump needs to be indicted, arrested, and charged, and put into prison. Now, I want to read you this report. Now, actually, it's part 7 of a report from Occupy Democrats, a website that pretty much pushes out everything I hate about Donald Trump and gives me the truth about all of it, as much as I do here. Now, the January 6th report, this is what they call it. The January 6th reports, part 7, Trump fiddles as the Capitol burns. He did nothing to stop it, spending most of his time watching his dirty work unfold on television and drinking Diet Coke. Now, this article is written by Ross Rosenfeld, and it's scathing. And it's going to rehash a lot of things that you probably have already heard by now, but just a reminder. 187 minutes. That's the key figure to remember for January 6th. For 187 minutes, Donald Trump did nothing to safeguard the Capitol as it was under attack. His supporters like to say he did nothing wrong, but what he really did was nothing at all. And that shows just how wrong he was. It's said that Nero, the first century Roman emperor, played the fiddle while Rome was burning. That's actually a historical inaccuracy. The fiddle wasn't even around yet. And it's debated to this day what role that Nero may have played had in the fire, and whether it was set at his direction, though he himself was over 30 miles away when it began. In Trump's case, though we know how he set the fire, it was Trump who sent his rabid supporters to Congress, and Trump himself who withheld any protection. While the Capitol was being ransacked, Trump spent those 187 minutes doing nothing to stop it at all. If he really didn't want his supporters to attack, why would he do nothing once they did? In the previous parts of this series before this one, we've gone over how Trump's lies created anger amongst his base, how he tried to pressure state officials to overturn the election results, how he brought extremists to Washington, and how those extremists took his instructions to fight and stop the steal as a signal to attack. Now we're going to look at all the nothing that Trump did to stop the violence he so obviously wanted to occur on his behalf. As Trump finished his incitement speech, he went back to the White House and was informed by his staff there at 1:21 p.m. that the Capitol was under attack. His response, as noted by the January 6th committee report on page 592, and I quote, "Oh, really? All right, let's go see," unquote. No concern, no worry, no move to take emergency action. Instead, he would spend most of the next several hours watching his dirty work unfold on television and drinking Diet Coke. Just after 2 p.m., the attackers began busting into the Capitol, and Mike Pence was told that he had to evacuate from the Senate chamber. Immediately after, Pelosi, Schumer, and other congressional leaders are also ushered to safety at undisclosed locations. Rather than looking to quell the situation, Trump issued his infamous tweet about Pence, and I quote, "Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution, giving states a chance to certify a corrected set of facts, not the fraudulent or inaccurate ones which they were asked to previously certify. USA demands the truth," unquote. White supremacist Nick Fuentes read the tweet aloud to the crowd in a bullhorn at the steps around the Capitol. Seeing the tweet, a Secret Service agent told other agents that, quote, "probably was not going to be good for Pence," unquote. Trump did this, keep in mind, while his supporters were already looking to hang Mike Pence. That infamous chat you heard. Between 2:26 p.m. and 3:06 p.m., the ex-president, spoke with Kevin McCarthy, who pleaded with them to do something to protect Congress and call his mob off. Trump's response? "Well, Kevin, I guess they're more upset about the election theft than you are," unquote. Eric Heshman, unable to make any headway in getting the ex-president to actually do something to stop the violence, appealed to his daughter, Ivanka Trump, to intervene. And after much pleading with her father, she got him to send out the brief "Stay Peaceful" tweet. I quote, "Please support our Capitol Police and law enforcement. They're truly on the side of our country. Stay peaceful." He would send a similar tweet a little under an hour later at 3:13 p.m. Meanwhile, messages were pouring into the former Chief of Staff Mark Meadows' phone from everyone, from Lauren Ingraham of Fox News to Congresswoman Mary Jean Taylor Greene, asking that the POTUS take more action, or any action for that matter. Even the basehead son of his, Donald Trump Jr., sent Meadows the following message with his grammatic gaffes. At 2:53 p.m., quote, "He's got to condemn this shit. ASAP. The Capitol Police tweet is not enough." At 4:05, "We need an Oval Office address. He has to lead now. It's gone too far and gone out of hand." But Donald Trump continued to do nothing. It wasn't until the time of Junior's second message, just after 4 p.m., when the attack was essentially over, that Trump finally put together a video asking people to, quote, "go home now." But before he said that, he made sure to tell them all once again that the election had been stolen and to justify their hurt and anger. The report concludes, here's what President Trump did not do. He did not call any relevant law enforcement agency to assure they were working to quell the violence. He did not call the Secretary of Defense. He did not call the Attorney General of the United States. He did not call the Secretary of Homeland Security. And 4 hours on end, he refused the repeated requests from nearly everyone who talked to him to simply tell the mob to go home, unquote. Because of Trump's purposeful inactions, Nancy Pelosi had to call on other sources for help. No wonder she wanted to punch Trump in the face. With all respect, Miss Pelosi, you're not the only one and you might have to get in line, especially behind me. At this point, there is no doubt that Donald Trump sought to interfere with and overturn a thorough election, and that he committed an act of treason against the United States government, in addition to his many other crimes. If he does not go to prison, it will be a powerful statement against our justice system. First of all, I want to thank Ross Rumsfeld for this, and everyone at Occupy Democrats website for this. Now, I'm probably going to do a video on the other previous parts that they've created for the Donald Trump reports from January 6th, but the message is clear enough. Donald Trump needs to be arrested, indicted, and charged with wholesale treason against the United States government. If anything, this part of the report shows dereliction of duty. As President of the United States and as the man who swore an oath to support and defend our country, he was duty-bound to stop what happened on January 6th. He did not. As President of the United States, he had every right to call in law enforcement and the National Guard. He did not, regardless of his lies. He talked to Nancy Pelosi requesting that and this, that, and the other without the single shred of proof saying he did. At the end of the day, Donald Trump, this year, 2023, needs to be arrested, charged, indicted, and found guilty of treason, at the very most, and dereliction of duty, as this report shows, in the very least. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.